My name is George Wallace. I am the eBay guy. I've written a few books and done a few things. One of them is how to make £50,000 a year part-time on eBay, which works in a very good way. So raise your hand if you'd like to work from home selling on eBay. Come on, raise your hand, come on. Oh yeah, come on. Do you do it? That's terrible, that is. Raise your hand if you can follow simple instructions in English.
I think.
Good. Thank you. Right then, first of all, I'll give you some facts about eBay. It was invented by a guy called Perry Omdiar in 1995. It was first called Auction Web. And the first sale was a broken laser pointer, which sold for $1.85. He tried to register as EcoBuy, but changed it to eBay. Listed in 1998 for $18 a share. If you bought one then, you now have a share worth $84,000. In 2014, $82.95 billion was exchanged hands on eBay, which makes you wonder how much money they actually make. Only 62 countries have got a bigger economy than eBay. eBay started in the UK in 1999. Over 19 million people visit it monthly. It's the most used website in the world. A yacht was sold on eBay for $168 million. Harrier jump jet, which took part in the Falklands War, was bought for £10,000 and it's in someone's back garden now, with an engine and bombs and all sorts on it. The average user spends an hour on eBay every month, more than any other site, e-commerce site, including the one beginning with A. An Australian tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. 800 million items are on sale on eBay at any one time. James Blunt sold his sister on eBay. The person who bought her married her.
Oh.
Warren Buffett sells a launch date on eBay. Last year it raised $2.35 million. Original Hollywood sign was sold on eBay. NASA bought spares off of eBay. So, how I got there? I was born in a wee place in Scotland a long time ago, and my schooling was a complete disaster. Everything went totally wrong. I got kicked out of school. The director gave me negative feedback and told me, get out of my school, you've got no future. From that point onwards, I decided I had some sort of future and I was going to do things well and do things good. I joined the Air Force as an apprentice. Had a wonderful time for 2 years, doing all sorts of wonderful things like running, swimming, learning to work on aircraft, doing all sorts of theory, schooling. Just great. And then I went on to these things here called lightnings. Rather than bore you about all my background, I'm going to mix this up between eBay and the Air Force, about how you actually plan an actual mission, how you plan a mission in the Air Force, and how you actually plan how to put something onto eBay. So, mission planning, we'll start with a map, working out what they're going to do, what sort of sortie they're going to fly, what things they are aiming to do. On eBay, you sit down with a cup of coffee in your favourite armchair. You plan what you're going to sell, you find out what others are selling, and find out what's selling best. You need intelligence. This is the aircraft I used to work on, which you can't see really very well at all. But it has got a thrust of around about £35,000 and the aircraft weighs £22,000. So it goes upwards at quite an alarming rate. You need to know intelligence on eBay, find out who's selling the item, how many are they actually selling, how much they're selling for, what is the demand for the product, check out the reviews, find out how good people like the item, how good it actually sells, how well everything goes. Prepare for takeoff. This is the old Jagger cockpit I used to work on a long time ago. As you see, it's sort of busy. Nowadays you'll find there's next to no dials, it's just a few screens and everything looks really, really good. So on eBay, you take photographs, you create a title, you create the description, you create the price, you get, and you ask the question, can I post it? Most people buy things, put it on eBay, and then they can't post it because they've never taken into account it's going to sell, and think, I can't post this. I've got nothing to post it with. It's too big to post. It's too heavy to post. How do I do this? First thing you can check out to see, how do I post it?
I misunderstood that part. I didn't realise you meant.
Sorry?
I didn't realise that you meant physically post it.
Yes, physically
Because-
post it. Yeah.
Like obviously on the internet, the term post would be used to publish.
Mhm.
That's what
Okay.
does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Takeoff. This is the aircraft I used to work on. It just doesn't hang about at all. So when you put your item onto eBay, I'm afraid to say, you go global. Everybody in the world can basically see it and look at it. And loads of people from all parts of the world look at ebay.co.uk. So when you first go on there and it's something people want, they will buy it from you. Your voyage can be tricky. You can have a lot of fun trying to get there. This is the Buccaneer flying down this valley, which is very, very close, with mountainsides on either side, like that. So your voyage to get your eBay items sold can be very, very tricky. It can actually be very rough, with people asking loads and loads of questions and saying, how does it work, how to do this, how much does it cost, what does it look like, can I do this, can I do the next thing with it? Or the other thing, it's smooth, it just sells, that's it. No problem at all with it. You complete your mission. This is what the Lightnings used to do, was to go and chase away the Russian aircraft that were coming into the UK airspace. Your mission on eBay is to sell your item. And then you finish your mission and you return to base. This is the Jaguar. They worked out, first of all, that as soon as war was declared, they would get all the airfields bombed and basically taken out. So what they wanted to do was to be able to operate aircraft from roads. So they just basically did it. You pack your order, post it, and sell on to the next one. I ran the New York Marathon 4 times. The 4th time was about 2.5 hours. Really good fun. A great place to go and see New York from. You see every single part of it, every one of the boroughs, and about 5 million people turn out and watch you. Ended up in Dundee Institute of Technology. I got an electronics degree there. I ended up on designing this aircraft here, which gave me an awful lot of fun, but taught me an awful lot about what I actually know now. So you talk about projects, and people talk about how things go well and how things go badly. Nimrod was 10 years late and £1 billion overspent. Titanic, they built the waterproof doors, waterproof walls too low, so when it hit the iceberg, it just sank. NHS, you know that, gives you lots of problems every single place. People get loads and loads of different things coming up saying, this is wrong, that's wrong, something else is wrong with it. T-Railbridge, where I come from, they built it saying it would never ever fall down. A year later, 4th time gale, it collapsed. Ariane 5, 1 line of code, and the whole thing blew up. Took off from the launch pad and just exploded. Airbus 380, the Germans and the French used different systems. when they put the whole aircraft together, the wires and the aircraft would not fit together. So nothing worked together properly, things wouldn't join up properly. It was then about 2 years late and €1 billion cost. So no systems thinking equals disaster. So what you end up with is something looking like this. What you're trying to do is the one thing, which is the most important thing here. Come on, you can speak, come on.
What the user wants.
Correct, exactly. It's what the user wants, it's what you're trying to build. What people do is to build the exact opposite. So what I did was to take eBay, and I built this model around eBay to make the whole thing actually work and run properly. These are all the different parts that make the whole thing run. Any internet that's running and selling things is doing all these things. Looks really complex, really hard to do, but it's actually very simple indeed, because you just break it down into simple little parts. I was given a job to work on this. I was told if you test it, you'll be finished in about 4 weeks. A year later, and X-raying 1 million bags, it's still being tested. Systems thinking the same. Everything looks exactly the same, and everything works really well. I worked in the air traffic control system in Swanwick, which looks a bit like that, with all the aircraft coming into the UK. Nicest place I've ever worked. So, eBay, how it happened. I'm a chartered engineer, a systems engineer, and my wife asked me very nicely to build a kitchen. So I built this kitchen, had a few things left over, and was told very politely, you need to sell them on eBay. So I did do. And I got hooked onto eBay. I started looking for other things. I went through batteries, sunglasses, all sorts of different things. And I tried them all out. And they kept on going wrong, and they didn't sell properly, things didn't work properly, and eventually I found my niche. My niche then started to build and got better and better and better, and things began to improve more and more and more. 3 months later, redundant. So the government was working on this wonderful project that I was working on, decided they didn't want to do it anymore, pulled the plug, whole thing gone. So for 3 months I built an eBay infrastructure which looks like that. And from that I started to actually make eBay actually work using all the systems engineering theory that I'd used and learnt, and made everything hang together and everything work properly. So the eBay challenge is quite simple. Why do people fail to sell on eBay? They've got a problem because what they basically do is they write the wrong title down, they take bad photographs, they don't tell the customer what problems they're going to solve. They talk about themselves and they say this is how it helps me, not about how it's going to help them. And everything doesn't look very good, so people don't actually buy it. Why do people not get feedback? Because people will get fed and sick and tired of giving feedback. You buy a washing machine, you buy a fridge freezer, you go for a flight, what do you ask for? Feedback. How did we do? How did we do this? How did we do something? How do we do something else? And everywhere you go, it's feedback. Unless you get something which is really good, you'll find that people will turn around and say, don't want to know the feedback. If you do a really good job, you'll start to get an awful lot of feedback. Why do people fail when setting up on an eBay account? They don't sell, they don't get feedback, they get bored with it, things don't sell properly. You've got to be selling things which are actually selling, and people are I think the word would be, they're trending. So people are seeing these things and saying, great, this is what I want to buy. And tell me, is your house full of clutter? Come on, you can speak, come on.
Yes.
It is?
Yes, most definitely.
It's not. Ah, you're different, are you? That's good. Excellent. So, loads of people have loads and loads of clutter. eBay is the best place ever to get rid of clutter. So, I'm going to offer you, at the end of this, I'm going to have a course a week today, which costs around about £47. And I'll go through how to run eBay completely properly, absolutely from start to finish. And I'll tell you exactly how to set the whole thing up and how to put things onto eBay, how things are going to work properly. And I'll provide you with 6 months unlimited email support. So if you get lost with things, you can phone me, you can ring me up, or you can email me and say, I'm stuck with something, how do I do it, please? So why work with me? I want to work with you because you can benefit from my experience. I got made redundant about 6-7 years ago, and I've been doing eBay part-time ever since. I've been building up the number of feedbacks. It's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I've learnt loads of different things. I've put processes together to make things work properly. I keep on changing them, making them work better and better and better, and gradually the amount of problems I have are just coming down. I'm one of the top 1% of sellers in the UK out of 210,000 eBay businesses. And I've got over 21,000 feedbacks. Some are negative, and some are neutral, and some are the majority are positive. My actual little place where they tell you how many points you got, I've got no problems at all with it. They're about to change everything on eBay on February the 20th, and my dashboard says 0, 0, 0 for problems, because I'll be able to work with people and give them good customer service, so things look really good. So why? I help a lot of people with their eBay businesses. A lot of people ask me different questions, how things work. Charities are basically taking people now who are on the dole, and they're getting them to sell on eBay. What happens is they sell something which is banned, or something that's not very good, and they shouldn't be selling it. So they get kicked off of eBay. I get this phone call saying, "Can you please sort this out for me, please?" So I ring up eBay, chat to them, find out what the actual problem is, go back and speak to the person, sort the whole thing out, and get them back on again. Sometimes. I have this stutter, which I got from being bullied as a youngster, and I want to show you that I can speak from the stage, and I can show other stutterers what is totally possible to do. So you should be constantly marketing for more suppliers. Whatever you're selling, you should be looking the whole time. When I first started up, I started using one wholesaler only, which I thought was the best thing going. Great, I found this place, no problem at all. After about 10 buys from him, I decided to get really brave and say, "Can I have a discount, please?" To which the answer was no. No way whatsoever. You can't have any discount at all. A few months later, there was something that I was looking for, and I went onto Google, started searching around, and I found another supplier who sold the same thing, but they were cheaper, and if I spent over £500, I got a 5% discount, which is even better, even just wonderful. So I just sort of moved across and started using them, and obviously one day they ran out of one of the things that I wanted. Went back to the old supplier, I found them, and they said to me, "Where have you been? What have you been doing?" "I've been buying with somebody else." "Why?" Because they're cheaper." "Who are they?" So I told them who they were. I came back again. They said to me, "Can you come and see us, please?" "Yeah, by all means." So I went and met them. "Can we give you a discount?" So it goes round full circle, works very, very well, and you just go to the cheapest person, and when they come back and ask you about it, you just say, "Well, I can get cheaper from there." That's it. It works really well. When we first started, we started selling in the UK only, and we were selling 5 a day. Sounds like the number of fruit and veg that you're supposed to eat every day. First order when we were allowed to sell internationally went to Sweden. Never came back, never got a feedback, never heard another thing at all. So obviously went well. We've sold to every single continent in the world apart from Antarctica. We regularly sell to Greenland, Iceland, Sweden, Norway, Denmark, the whole place, everywhere. Things go out. You have problems with some places, and some places you basically just forget about after a short time because you get so many problems with them. So this is what the place looks like on a Saturday evening after you've had a few orders, and then Sunday evening it looks like that. So you've got quite a few orders coming in. Over the last month and a half or so, we've gone absolutely crazy. Remember Paris, when all the people had all that fighting and killing and so on? After that, I thought eBay's going to die over Christmas. No one's going to buy anything. And about a week later, it started buying. It started to really sell. Christmas Day, I thought might get 4 or 5 orders. As we normally do, got 60. Boxing Day, 70. And it's kept going with that ever since. Just kept going and going and going and going. Just like that. So, how much do you reckon the online marketplace is going to be worth this year in the UK?
Lots, definitely.
Well, come on, numbers, please.
In billions.
Sorry?
In billions.
That's correct. How many?
I would say about 20.
Not quite. Any more ideas?
Online marketing. That's not just eBay though.
That's the
Online.
whole thing.
Online.
The whole thing.
Hundreds of billions.
Not quite actually, no. It's actually worth 56 billion. That is the estimate. Last year was 54 billion. You saw what happened on Black Friday.
Yeah.
Nobody went to shops. They all went to
Online.
online. That's what's happening now the whole time now. Everything's going this way all the time now. How about the worldwide?
Oh, definitely hundreds.
That's right. But how many?
I would say 400.
So there you go.
A little bit trillions.
It is frightening, the amount of stuff that is going on now. The number of shops that are shutting. My account is running with similar things like the huge store sell, and I'm just beating the stores left, right, and centre. They're coming up with all these different things. They're getting negative feedbacks. They're getting all these stuff like that. But the way that I'm actually making it work, it's working really well. And you can see the big stores putting more and more and more stuff onto eBay, onto Amazon, all these different things. So do you want part of this? Do you want to be part of this revolution? She does. She's doing really well, thank you. You need to build your business online part-time. Do not leave here and go and buy £1,000 worth of stock and give up your job. You need to actually make sure that you can actually do things properly and build up the thing slowly. It's going to take you about 6-7 months to actually build something up properly and make it actually work properly. It may be faster, it may be slower. Reduce your risk by having 2 incomes. So you've got an income from your work. They're giving you money to pay your mortgage, pay your rent, pay your electric and stuff like that. All going in just nicely. Full-time employment will fund your everyday expenses. But imagine that you're now running eBay only. Get up in the morning, you have a 30-second commute from the bedroom to the bathroom to the laptop. And what do you find? Lots of orders. All arrived overnight. You pack the orders, send them off, that's it. And that's your income for the day. Next morning you do exactly the same thing, out it goes again, no problem at all with it. So what's your passion?
People.
Right? You can't sell people on
No,
eBay.
Oh, but he sold his sister. didn't he?
Sister, yeah.
I know that, yes, I know that,
Warren
yeah.
Buffett sold a lunch date.
Yeah.
People talk about, people know things like running, they know how to do things like using video cameras, they've got how to use phones properly, they knew about headsets, they knew about USB cables, they know about all sorts of different things. That's what you start off with, what your passion is. And if you start with your passion, people will pick up what you're actually selling, and you actually know what you're talking about. So if you get asked this question, which you'll get some completely wonderful questions, you can answer the question with absolute ease, and you can say, it does this, or it does that. And that way you actually know exactly what the item is. And once you've got your passion and you worked it that way, you then start to expand what you sell, and you sell more and more and more of these different things. You learn the techniques of how to do it, and what makes people tick, what makes people buy things. So I talked about posting first of all. Now, the biggest problem that most people have is they buy this this wonderful handbag, and they want to sell it. And they think, great, I've got a handbag, put it on eBay and sell it. And it sells. Oh my God, it's sold. What do? How do I post it? I've got no box, I've got no way of doing it. How much is it going to cost to post it? They have no idea whatsoever. It takes a lot of planning to work these things out, to go and make sure you've got the correct thing to sell it with. Royal Mail have got rules which we've found out recently. If you add the length, plus the breadth, plus the height, and it comes to more than 80 centimetres, they don't take it. They just quite simply keep it for 6 days and give it back again. So you're sending this item out to say, China, and 6 days later, it comes back again. I started getting emails from this person saying, why is my item still in London after 4 days? I've got no idea. Went and checked where it was. It was in our local sorting office, trying to be delivered to us. Came back to us, had to wrap it all up again, cut the box size down, make it work properly, and send it off again. So, do not use this. This, by the way, you can't really see it very well at all, is a bit of paper that's been torn off the corner of a sheet of paper. There are 2 bits of sellotape down there and a stamp up there. I bought something on eBay because I just wanted it. This turned up. I was utterly intrigued by it. So I actually bought another one. And guess what turned up? Exactly the same. Again. This is so bad, it's beyond belief. People are going to go, this is just rubbish. Complete rubbish. You're supposed to be providing a really good service and make people happy. Make people look, oh, this is great, wonderful. I want more of these things. Who's going to come back again? I sent a question to the person, they never replied. Questions, I get loads of questions, I answer the question, I get a sale. Or this. This is real as well. There was, we used tape, these rolls, to print out labels. I bought some labels, and this is what appeared. This is what we use, which is a nice plain envelope, stamp, fragile, and the return address. You stick on the person's address there. You stick some magic things up there, so they think that it's tracked, and then it quite simply goes away. And when they get it, the first sight is, I like this, it's really nice. The first experience they get of it will determine what your feedback is. As soon as they see it and like it, they'll basically say, oh, I like that. Good feedback. Use first class post. Why do you think Amazon offer you to sell things to you in 4 hours? People want things now. They want things right now, instantly. So people will pay a fortune to get an item sent to you in 4 hours. You've got it instantly, they want it as quick as they possibly can. If it's expensive, send it tracked or signed for. And remember, your courier is part of your business. So I'm afraid to say, if the courier doesn't turn up and swears at the person, drops the parcel or does anything like that, it's your fault. Not the courier's fault, your fault. And the person who's actually buying it will blame you for it. So make sure you choose a good courier. So a few case studies. About a year and a half after I started selling on eBay, I got my first negative feedback. I told my wife the world was going to end. I said that we might as well give up now, just that's it, finished, done, no more. finished, it's all done. And I was told to shut up and go and sort it out. So I did do. And I used all of my background to work out the best way of doing this. I've now worked out a way of actually dealing with negative feedback such that my sales increase. So when people give me negative feedback, I get more sales. I like negative feedback, and I like getting it taken off as well. But it works really, really well. And if you come to my course in a week's time, I'll explain to you exactly how to do it. Feedback extortion. This is better known as blackmail. We were selling these very expensive items a few years ago, and we sold some to somebody in this European country. They then sent me an email saying that one of the items was broken, and I asked quite simply, "Can you send it back again?" Well, they said, "I'm very sorry about this, but I'm actually disabled and I can't get out of bed, so I can't do it at all." Being a very trusting person and very nice person, I decided that I would be really kind and send them another one. So another one was sent to them. 2 weeks later, I got another email. "We've been to the local store and all your items are fake." Must be amazing remedies there to suddenly get out of bed and be able to suddenly walk again after being disabled. And they said, "Oh well, unless you give us our money back, we're going to give you negative feedback for every item." We phoned up eBay, sorted it out, but now anybody who says, "I've got a problem," I want a photograph. I want to see exactly what the problem is, and I don't care how many excuses you make about not giving it to me or anything else like that. Until I get it, I don't want to know. And eBay will actually back you up as well with that and say to you, the photograph is the correct way of actually going, no matter how many excuses they make. Like, "I can't get it to work properly, it doesn't operate properly." We sent this item out to this person in this country, which is a long way away, and they opened the case about 2 days later. I never thought about this, first of all, but Royal Mail say it takes 5 days for the item to actually get there, and they opened the case after 2 days saying what was sent was the wrong thing, please send a replacement. When the penny dropped, I decided, well, something not quite right here. So I had a chat with the eBay customer support, sorted it all out, went back to them and said to them, "Can you please give me another day, please?" "Yes, by all means, that's no problem at all." Then wrote and said to them, "How come your item got there before the mail?" Case shut. Finished. Person was thrown off of eBay. Recently, what eBay does now is something called returns. If you've got a problem with something, you create this thing called a return. The return is sent back to you, and you accept the item. It's done that way. So this person, should say, took this item and said it was broken. Only they took the photograph of the wrong item and tried to get money back to say they want to do this. When I said to them, "I want the item to be sent back again, please," they refused to send it back. They shut the case, gave us negative feedback, saying we were a bad risk. eBay took the whole lot off, and they've been thrown off of eBay for fraud. So this thing goes on. People don't actually believe it happens, and I can help you through all these different things of how to actually deal with this. If you give too much choice, people will not buy from you. Don't want to know about it. The eBay formula. This is a little formula that I have worked up. If you got this laptop that you want to sell for £200, you need to make sure that whatever you actually charge for it, you cover everything that can go wrong during your sale, and what you need to actually make yourself to actually cover your sale and make the whole thing work properly. So first of all, when you put it on, eBay charges you for actually putting the item on. Then, when you sell it, they charge you a final value fee. And then PayPal get into the act, and they take their little cut as well. So that's 3 cuts before you've even got your 200 quid. Then you've got postal costs. You've got to post this thing, or do something with it to get it to the person who actually bought it from you. You've got to buy postal supplies to make sure you can actually post the item, put it into where we're going to post it to, and it gets there okay. I'm afraid to say we're all human, and we all make mistakes. So things go wrong sometimes. We also have fraud to look after, and we also have refunds. Things go wrong, and they want money back again. So whatever you charge, that £200 has got to cover all these different things, making sure that you can actually cover these things. So if you're selling 10 laptops at £200 each, you must make sure that you can guarantee at least one of them will have some sort of problem. And you'll have something to do there, but you've also got to buy the postage stuff and all the other things to support this. Watch your items and see what happens. Number of views, number of questions. People will ask you the most silly questions you've ever thought in your life. You've got to be really nice and not sort of laugh at them and be very, very polite and just say, thank you very much, and the answer is this. And just do it this way. You keep marketing your products the whole time to find better deals. You're looking always to get something cheaper and better, all the time. This is a real story of, do you all know what dropshipping is? No. Right, imagine you're selling to this gentleman here a laptop, and you want to buy the laptop from China. So you say, this gentleman here, I would like to sell you this laptop. And he says, okay, I will buy it. So you send the information to China and say, please send the laptop to this gentleman here. China will send it there, and you'll quite simply do it that way. You will then pocket the profit you've made, and gentleman over there will get his laptop. That's how it basically works. Somebody I know very, very well walked into our house and said, I've got an idea. I want to sell, you know, these little things that were going around with the little wheels. You know what I mean?
Oh, the segways.
Yeah.
Segways, that's it, segways, yeah.
Yeah, those little
Yeah,
bullet things.
I've got this great idea. I want to sell segways on eBay, right? How do I do it? So I said, first of all, you need to buy 2. What? Why? Why go buy 2? Well, first of all, what do they look like? You've seen this picture from China. Is that real? What's the stand it's made of? What does it look like? Can you drop it? Can you do things with it? How does it work? No idea. How much does customs charge? Don't know. How much you got to pay to actually get it in the country? Don't know. How much is how much does it weigh? Don't know. Right, that's fine. So you know all these things. That's great. Good. Okay. Find out about them, and then when you've got it done, buy 2 of them. Buy one on Friday afternoon, and buy one on Wednesday. Friday afternoon is the worst day to actually buy something, so you'll find that the longest time it's going to take you to get the item into the UK. They're claiming a week. It could be 10 days, could be 12 days, so you know exactly how long it's going to take. So when you market it, you're saying this will take 10 days to get here, because that is your longest period. And if they get it in 5 days, they're ecstatic. So off he went, quite happy. That's fine. Comes back on Sunday. I've actually sold one. Really? Yeah. So what work have you done to actually for research? Nothing. Right, okay. How much is the how does the person who's actually buying it know about the customs charge? No. Oh, good, that's good, huh? Do you know what the actual standard's made to? Nope. Have you ordered it yet? No, but eBay are getting very, very upset with me because I haven't sent it yet. I'm not really surprised about that, because it was £174 it was that he charged for it, and he's going to make about a £40 profit. Have you told the person about the customs charge? Nope. Okay. Are you going to? Nope. I think you should, because you're going to get really upset customer who's going to say, I'm not paying this, full stop. That's basically it. I want my money back. I never heard anything else about what actually happened, the real story, but that is a warning of what can actually happen. If you jump in and just start doing this without actually doing research first of all, you can get yourself into a real mess, and things can go totally wrong. So you will love eBay. You've got lots of many repeat customers, and you meet different types of customers. Some are very happy. They're delighted. They'll be happy the whole time. Everything you do is wonderful. No matter what you do, what you say, they will be ecstatic. Others will be sad. They will always be sad. They will never be happy whatsoever. Whatever you do, whatever you say, it will always be wrong. Then you get the ones who shout at you. That's the capital letters on the email. They demand this done, demand something else done, demand something else done. You might think I get tons and tons of fraud. I don't actually. I get about 0.5% of all the sales have any sort of problem. It's very little problem really. Other ones will point at you and give you all sorts of abuse. And others will point at you even more and shout at you even more. But again, it's not a great deal of people will actually do that. And what I do is get them bound to this, so they come back to be happy. By being very polite, very nice, and always being exactly good to them. No matter what they say to you, you're always polite back again. Always, no matter what happens. No matter how bad you feel. And if you think yourself, I'm going to swear at this person, walk away. Calm down, come back, and write the email again. So build your business slowly and well. And remember your work-life balance, because I didn't. And I was working too many hours and doing far too many things. And you have to go back and remember you've got a family to look after as well. This guy is the biggest seller in the UK. He sells £1,477,644.63 a month. And he started from nothing at all. So that's what's possible to do. So, I hope I've whetted your appetite. So I want to make eBay simple for you. You all think everybody thinks it's dead easy. It's not that. It is quite easy actually. Simple to do. If you break it down in steps and just after please, and work the whole thing through, it does really well indeed. I want you to avoid the mistakes that I made, because I made some cracking mistakes, real crackers. I want you to learn through my experience, the best teacher. I'm afraid to say what you learn by what you do is actually the best way of actually learning. The world's your oyster. So, my offer, I want to teach you about the following things. Get started on eBay, the title, the description, and photographs. How to actually do it properly. Cassini search engine. You all know what Google is? Well, that's what's inside eBay, Cassini. You've got to fill in certain forms, certain items, and if you do all this properly, you will go to the top of the list. Most people put their item on and they go to the bottom of the list because they don't fill in all the correct items. Keywords, the most important part of anything online. Putting your first article on. Replying to questions. Get this right, and it's a piece of dawdle. Because people will, if you get your answers right, I get loads of questions. I've not received my item. I've got a set reply, which I send back again, and what goes back again, usually 90% of the time, I get no other reply again. You just completely stop writing to me. Dealing with negative, neutral, and positive feedback. What to sell. Finding an accountant. Linking PayPal to the online accounting system. The bank. Finding and using wholesalers. There's a good art to that there is, to find out how to actually do it. Discounts. Dealing with eBay customer support, which is very important. Get that right, and you've got them eating out of your hand. Very simple to do. finding mail supplies, drop shipping, and the most important thing of all, how anyone can run your business and not just you. You don't want to be the person who runs every single thing, because if you run everything, if you're knocked down by a number 9 bus, that's the business finished. You've got to have somebody who can run the whole business without you being there. And if you can do that, you can start to expand everything. So tell me, do you want to learn the eBay business?
That's what, yeah.
That's good then. So, or would you rather keep on doing what you are doing now, rather than take the time to learn new skills to improve? So, questions?
The main part I want to know is, will you teach us what to sell and where to get it from? I know it says on there that you will, but will you actually teach us?
Yes, I would do, yes. I would teach you what to actually sell.
And where to get it from?
You can't always, you need to do, I know where to look. I know where to actually look to find out where to get things from. I do. You need to do the actual research
of
of what you do.
Yeah.
But I shall tell you exactly how to do that. Any more?
Yeah, the question I had to ask was about the guy who made 1.5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying he was selling electronic products.
Mm-hmm.
Was that, so it was on a monthly basis, was making 1.5 million.
Yes.
Was that like laptops, TVs, or was that like small accessories?
It's just about. He's basically doing it with just about everything. There's loads and loads and loads of stuff being used. There's not just single things, and he's got a very wide range. What you'll find with eBay is as you start to increase your actual range of stuff, the number of sales you get will start to get better and better and better. We started to work on a certain brands, to sell certain brands, and we started to do it, and we found after a little while our sales began to go down a little bit, that just gradually dropping off. So we started to really look to see how can we make this better. Did the marketing, and we found certain items. I had a huge bit of luck because somebody sent me the wrong order. And I opened this box up. My wife went to pick up this box from the person who gets our items, and I said to her, it's a little box with that. Comes back with a box about this big, absolutely massive. Car boot would not sell. I was accused of not basically knowing what I was talking about and being totally crazy, until I found the guy's name on the box was not mine. But I thought, well, let's have a look and see what other people buy. So I opened it all up and started looking to see how well these items sold. One of the items that I bought from the supplier from that box, I've sold 1,500 of in the last 2.5 months. So that little mistake taught me a huge amount of stuff, and I keep on, every time I actually buy things, I will buy 3 things that I don't know anything about, and I'll just try them out, stick them on, see what happens. And some things go really well, others just sit there and do nothing at all.
You were talking about expanding. I know we've had a conversation about this before, and you were mentioning about you can actually branch out, and I think the word that you used was franchising.
Yes.
Yeah, so would you teach us about that?
Yes, I would do, yes. I would teach you how to take your actual business, and you could get your business running, get it working properly. You'd have all your processes to make your business actually work. And then you could say to somebody, right, do you want to buy my business as this franchise and make the whole thing work? So you can expand it, so you can get people to do the same thing. So you're basically you're doing the same thing as I'm doing now. And you're standing in front of people and saying, do you want to do this? And I will teach you how to do all these things here, and you could do that. Yes.
So it's similar to like network marketing.
Not really, no. It's not really, no, not at all. It's more, this person would have to buy this a complete package, and then you help them through the through say for the first year or so to get them going. The hardest thing you've got to do is get people to. If I told you all to go and buy widgets from John Smith's across the road there, and if you put them onto eBay and sold them for £20 each, you make a fortune. And you can buy them from John Smith's for say £6. So you go and buy 20 widgets and you put them onto eBay for 20 quid. What's going to happen is it's going to get saturated. Loads and loads of people selling the same widget over and over and over again. So the price will start coming down, people will start to undercut you, and you do that like that. You've got to find your own niche. You've got to have your own sort of thing. This is where I want to be, this is what I want to sell, this is what I actually know about. And then when you write things, you show in your writing exactly how much you actually know and how much you understand. Once you get it going for what you can do now, you then expand it to something else and something else and something else and something else, and gradually you get more and more and more, and you begin to learn everything that way.
So how do you find something that no one else is selling?
You don't. That's the one thing you don't do.
Or how do you find something that you can sell cheaper than everyone else but still make a profit?
You don't sell it cheaper. The secret is you don't make it cheaper. What you do is you make the description better. That's what you've got to do. People read things, and you can attract people, and by doing the right description. When somebody opens up your item on eBay, you have 1, 2, 3 seconds to get somebody interested before they even click at it to say buy. You've got to use those 3 seconds to make to your best advantage and get somebody to click on it. If you can get it to do that, it's easy. So people will read, and people don't always look at the price. There are two types of people, two types of buyers on eBay. The ones who want it the cheapest going. You can guarantee, remember the old envelope that I showed you with the sellotape and the paper and stuff like that? That's the typical people who you're going to get, who will basically buy it really, really cheap. And once something really cheap, really nasty, that's what. And then you go to the next level. The next level is people like me, who will package things properly, take a bit of time, a bit of care, make sure things look good, make sure the customer gets good customer service, answer the questions, do everything properly, and that way you get a good deal. People would much rather pay a little bit more and get a far better deal than something. There you go. Anything else?
How long is the course? A day, 2, what?
I've got a course next week for 3 hours, and I will teach you literally everything you need to know in those 3 hours. It will be hard going. The course would normally last 6 hours, and I normally have breaks and so on. But I want to basically try it out. That's why it's quite cheap. So you can basically, I want to basically try the whole thing out properly, and I'll go through every single thing with you and explain to you exactly what you need to do. You can ask the questions that you want to ask, and you can also come back and you can say, and you've got email support from me, so you can ask the questions that you want to ask from me as well. Yes.
Do we get course materials or documentation or?
I will give you the.
Like
I will. What I'm going.
Stuff that we can take away. Stuff
Yes.
that we can take away that we can look back on
Like a
to go
menu.
over the course.
Like a
I will give you the slides for it, okay? And from the slides you should be able to work the whole thing out without any problem at all.
So is the slides like a menu, literally?
It's a whole set. There'll be whole sets of PowerPoint slides that go through all the different things, talking about this is how you take photographs, this is how you do the description, this is how you do this, this is how you do that, this is how you do the next thing. So it explains every single thing, and I will go through it in detail with you. And if you want to come back to say to me, I'm stuck on this thing, I don't know how to work it, please tell me. I will sit down with you and go through it with you and explain it all to you.
When's you got something in March?
I could do something in March. I'm planning on doing something for a Saturday in March. I am. So I need to talk to this lady here. I do.
Okay.
Okay.
So when's next week's one then? When is next week's one?
Next week one is in here at 6:30.
Same day? It's Thursday?
Same place.
11th.
Thursday?
11th, yeah, the Thursday, yeah.
And that's the full-on 3-hour course?
Mhm.
12/6.
So basically, on the course, would you be virtually showing on the laptop, or would you really how to open an account, or you just going to show how to open an account?
I'll show you what you need to do to make eBay actually work. The eBay part of actually putting things onto eBay is not difficult to do. You just follow things through, but there's a lot of different fields you've got to fill out. If you don't fill these fields out, then basically the Cassidy search engine, when it's looking for your item, will put you to the bottom of the list.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, those forms, would you be showing us how to fill those forms?
Yes.
Virtually on the
Yeah.
laptop itself, or just we have just for your slides.
I can show you how. It's very difficult to
Sometimes it's easy to say it when you come to the laptop itself, opening the form. Question, no, I'm stuck. So it's not that I have to phone you every second. Look, I'm stuck on this question. Stuck on the question.
The biggest problem with that is what actually happens is if you have this pull down menu which you have on each sort of category, every category has different questions. So like if I talk about selling running gear, shorts and stuff like that, we talk about the size of the shorts, it was talk about what the waist was and things like that. The next time if you're selling, say, some sort of shampoo, we talk about what sort of vitamins it had, was it or organic. But basically you've got to fill out all these different fields, and I will explain all the different theory behind it for you, and I shall also use one of my accounts to actually fill one in and show you the whole thing working. And you can ask as many questions as you want to ask, and you can stay here till 10:30 if you want to. Okay.
So is it possible that after 3 hours of you teaching them, you still didn't get it? Can we come back to you again?
Yes, you can by all means. Yes.
Virtually back here, and we go step by step again.
Yes, I'm happy to do that. Yes. You need it's one of these things. It's like most things in life. You do it the first time, you do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again, and gradually it begins to sink in and gets it right. So probably the first three or four times you're going to struggle, and you're going to say, I don't understand this, I don't know why this does this, I don't know why this is that, but gradually it'll get better and better and better. Okay.
Will you also help out, like we just mentioned about the item itself? If he says to you, virtually say, I need to market or fancy going in the sport, or for him it's electronics. So would you sort of help out guide to these gentlemen, like this is the wholesalers and this is the wholesaler, though they'll market themselves, search market themselves, all the items, would you be able to just give them a first go, try here?
I can't give you the exact things, the exact people.
Not exactly to buy, but virtually just.
Yes, I can.
Pull
I
them
can do, yes.
there, so they can go say, okay, this is how you do it.
Yep. There's ways and means of doing all these different things there are, and it's taken me about 6 years to learn all this stuff, to find out how it really works. And there's people selling things on eBay now who are basically saying, I'm selling this for £6. I'm selling items for £6.99, people are selling it for something like £2.50, and they will last for approximately 5 weeks and they'll be gone, because they're basically selling it at cost price. So they're making no money at all. They're buying this thing in at £2.50, they're then putting it onto eBay at £2.50. The item's being sold, it then gets eBay fees, PayPal fees, postage fees, so they're making literally minus £1 almost for every single item. I also teach you about how to set up postal accounts and how to get things far cheaper than you can through Royal Mail.
Over the import charges you just mentioned, right? Right. Obviously, custom exercise, they got to know what you're importing, because I think if it's something scrap or is second-hand items, you don't have to pay for those custom charges. Unless it's a brand new item, you pay custom charges, or if it's a fully working item, you pay custom charges. There's
lots of different rules there are, and what you need to really do is to actually find. You need to work with the people who are supplying things to you to give you the optimum charge. So you basically talk to them and you say to them, this is what agree what the actual charge is. The most important thing to do, what a lot of people actually do by mistake, is they turn around and say, this is the value of the actual item, and the value they're actually giving you is the value of the postage, not the value of the item. So people, like, you might buy, say, 150 sacks from somewhere, and the actual cost of sending these sacks is, say, £250. But because it comes from somewhere really cheap, it's cost you, say, £40. As they do that, people end up putting £160 into the actual cost of the actual item, thinking this is the actual postage. It's not. It's what the item actually costs in the first place. And if you get the number right, you'll find that the customs charges will literally vanish.
Some of the items, like especially in America, from America, when it comes here, they say there's no fee. But when it arrives here, Royal Mail ends up saying pay these charges before you get the item, like you mentioned earlier. So those custom charges, when you end up talking to the American buyers, we don't know UK custom charges are. It's only recently I've seen some of the items which is automatically done by eBay, right? Again, they give you a rough guide of saying this is what is going to be custom charge. So your item is 20 quid, custom charge will be £10, so you'll be paying roughly this much. Right? Sometimes it's included that price, sometimes it's not.
Right, that's what's actually called. There's this shopping thing that you can use on eBay. And what you can do is you can put all your items onto eBay. You can register with this postal thing, and you post all your items straight to this place. I think it's in Derby somewhere. And what happens then is eBay, when you sell the item, just say for argument's sake that you've sold this item which costs £19.99. Okay, the weight of the item is, say, 400 grams. And the cost for postage to send it properly is going to cost you it's going to cost the customer in the region of, say, £3 to actually send it. Customer comes along, they buy your item for £19.99. eBay, then say to the customer, okay, this is the preferred shopping. So it's called global shopping. This is the global shopping. What they then do is they say to you, okay, to actually post this item is going to cost this amount of customs charge, it's going to cost this amount for postage, this amount for this. And what they've done is they've put this company, which is not cheap to sell with, not cheap postage at all, and they actually run this postal centre. So they agree with the person who's just bought your item what their charges are going to be. So you get the £19.99, you get the eBay charge taken off, you get the PayPal charge taken off, and you then post it to this place in Derby. So just say for argument it's going to Peru. The item then, you then send it to Derby. Derby then get hold of it and they send it out to Peru. Peru then, the person in Peru has to pay for these charges to basically send it from Derby to there. The advantage of doing this is if anything goes wrong from Derby out to Peru, it's a global shipping problem and not your problem. It's quite complex, the whole thing is.
Also, there's an insurance, or can you insure all your items?
You can if you want to, but it would cost you an awful lot of money to do that. It would do.
Sometimes people, when they send it, they insure it, so in case it's lost or whatever, they get it back. And the money back.
That's very true, yeah.
Customs is always going to ask you money back.
That's right.
It's possible always a loss somewhere for items, and after 6 months you get it. Look whether when they find it.
There's customs like Brazil, where it just goes in and never comes out again. So that guess where you don't sell to. So you just do that, and you get things like that, and you've got the only way you can learn these things is by experience. And some places we've sold items to, I think, where on earth is that? And we've gone away and found this place. There's an island which is about 150 miles to the east of the Maldives, and they've been buying tons of stuff from us, loads of stuff, and it's going. I thought, don't believe this. Don't believe this place, because we're looking up and trying to find whether it was in the EU or the rest of the world. This is island, little tiny speck, middle of nowhere. So, do you want to buy this course then? You sound interested.
I think I will.
Okay, done then. Do you want to do the deed?
You've got the phone.
I have. In the back here. Any more questions?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Usually when you import out to another country, because I imported some accessories out to the Caribbean, they charge you for the cost of shipping and the cost of goods combined together. That was what always my experience, and that was quite a huge blow to me when we used DHL and Amerijet. It's an American company, but when we sent it for Roma, the customs didn't hit us such heavy charges. They didn't charge us for the value of the goods and postage combined together.
Oh, okay, lucky you.
So that was something. I was wondering if that was the same. How I was wondering if the same system expectation when we ship it to the UK.
Right, okay.
It depends. If you go through, thank you, Davian. If you go through certain couriers, what happens is they will get your items through customs like that. And to actually do that, what they actually do is they put it through all these different hoops and stuff like that. So you get preferred usage in there, and it just goes straight through customs.